Welcome to Sugary as Fuck, where I show lazy people how to make impressive desserts. Today we're making an orange almond cardamom cake from a cake mix. This Betty Crocker super moist white cake mix is only about a year past its sell-by date, so I'm sure it'll still be fine. I read somewhere online that sieving your cake mix before you make it is helpful somehow. No one could really define how, so I decided to give that a try, and then I got really irritated with it and stopped. Now we're going to add some lovely cardamom, one of my favorite flavors. That's half a teaspoon, and a half a cup of ground almonds. Now these are the most insanely red mandarin oranges I've ever seen. You can use whatever kind of oranges you want. Put the zest of one in the cake mix, and then zest another one into a little bowl. You're going to put that in the icing and use it to decorate later. Admittedly, zesting oranges is a little bit annoying, but it tastes really good. So now we're going to cut these in half, and we're going to squeeze them with a lemon squeezer. And they don't fit in the lemon squeezer, but you're going to do it anyway because it makes a spectacular mess and you're too lazy to get out the other juicer. And basically, we're just replacing the water called for in the cake mix with orange juice. I used the juice of 3 oranges here and then made up the last little bit with 1/4 cup of water. If you want to take a shortcut here, you could just use store-bought orange juice and not bother with the orange zest. I totally get it. You're a busy person. I'm judging you a little bit, but probably only you're going to know the difference. That was the oil called for on the cake mix. And now we're adding half a cup of 2% Greek yogurt. Throw in some vanilla because that makes everything taste better. That's a teaspoon. And now we're going to put our eggs in. I usually crack my eggs in a separate bowl so that I can dump them into the mix after I make sure I don't have any eggshells in there. We added the Greek yogurt and the almonds to try to get a lot more moisture into this cake mix than you would find in a normal cake mix. If you want the almond flavor to be more pronounced, put some almond extract in here. And don't undermix your cake mix. When it says to mix it for 2 minutes, just follow the directions. I know. Nobody wants to sit there for 2 minutes because you don't have time lapse like I do, but just do it. It tastes better. Use those 2 minutes to throw some stuff in the dishwasher. Okay, now we're going to put some orange oil in there. If you don't have orange oil, you could use orange extract. You could just leave it out altogether, whatevs. And yes, I do know you're not supposed to taste raw cake mix because of the raw eggs, but I don't care. I'm old anyway. If it's time to die, it's time to die. Spray your bundt pan with Pam. That is so hard to say. Oh my God. Spray your bundt pan with Pam. That has flour in it. And put your cake mix in there and jiggle it around a little bit to get any big air bubbles out. Just use the time and temperature on the back of your cake box as a guide. It might take a few extra minutes because of the added yogurt and almonds. A toothpick stuck in should come out with no crumbs on it. This is the part where you get to find out how well you greased your pan. Put the rack on there, flip it upside down, it should just come right out. The cake needs to be totally cool before you add icing. This glaze icing is really easy to make. You put some powdered sugar into the bowl and sift it because once again we have the world's lumpiest powdered sugar! Really, I am such a Trader Joe's devotee. I get everything there. But that organic powdered sugar is constantly lumpy. I just finished that bag, and you get to see another bag coming up, and it's just as bad. So, mix your sugar and orange juice together, and then we're going to put a little bit of cardamom in there. That's really just a pinch, and a little bit of our orange peel. Mix it up. It's not quite a thick enough consistency, so we're going to add more powdered sugar. Brand new bag, just opened it. And there are the lumps yet again. Fucking sugar. Just take it out on the icing. It'll be fine. You want the icing to make that line on your finger and stay there for a minute because you're going to pour it over your cake. Make sure the plate is really nice and neat before you do this because now you're going to pour icing all over it, which is going to go all over your nice clean plate. But drizzling icing is fun, so knock yourself out here. Try to make sure your drips are pretty even and you have a nice distribution of icing around the cake. Decorate the top with a little bit of the leftover orange peel. It just looks really pretty. But if you really want icing porn, here it is. Yeah. Come on. Do it. Yes. And there's our orange almond cardamom cake. Look at that beautiful crumb inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just as good as it was like an hour ago. So. Okay, so we took the cake to a party, and this is pretty much all that's left. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars season premiere was great. And remember, this is just white box cake with a few extra things added to it. So it shouldn't be too hard to figure out how to recreate this at home, and I hope you'll give it a try. Welcome to Sugary Bach. My upstairs neighbors are playing the piano. This is our orange almond buck. In tune would be good.